What is the message that Taiwan's ruling party is trying to send to the international community?
Yeah, good morning, Sherry. I think for one thing is that democracy won this weekend here in Taiwan, and in some ways that, despite China's threats that saying that this election was a matter of peace and war, Taiwanese voters defied those concerns and elected the DPP for a third straight term here, which we've never seen before in the history of Taiwan. You mentioned about, what we're seeing here in terms of the results. So yes, it was a historic win. Yes, it was by a wider than expected margin. But then again, only receiving 40% of the votes for Lai Ching-te, which goes to show that, had we seen this coalition party between the KMT and TPP, we would be talking about a much different result here right now. And the DPP lost its majority in the legislature. So no clear mandate here. I think that certainly is not lost when it comes to the DPP and how they're going to move forward in all this, because with a divided government now, he's going to have to negotiate with other parties on budgets, on legislation, to get anything from his agenda through here right now. So that certainly is a DPP that is emerging out of this election a little bit on the weaker side. But then again, this is also a sign that, a bit of soul searching for the KMT and Beijing as well. You talk about how this is a bit missed opportunity for Beijing. This is a Taiwan, as we see, that is becoming more Taiwanese. In fact, people self-identify themselves as that more so than China.
Yeah, so what's been the response from Beijing so far?
I would say pretty low key, right? Because, we've already seen before, leading up to this election, that Lai Ching-te was labeled an instigator of war, a separatist by Beijing. We're not quite hearing that sort of language here in the statement that we got from the Taiwan Affairs Office yesterday. Lai's name was not mentioned. Of course, they reiterated, China's stance on they still want reunification with Taiwan. And they said that 40% mandate received by Lai, quote, could not represent the mainstream public opinion of the island. So it is softer language compared to what we saw 4 years ago. Keep in mind, when you remember when President Tsai Ing-wen won that second term by a landslide, Chinese state media was labeling her as selfish, greedy, evil. On the military side, it's been quite muted response as well. The defense ministry here said that they've seen 4 Chinese naval vessels and 1 weather balloon around Taiwan yesterday. No PLL planes have been seen in the air defense zone here in Taiwan. So we're not seeing those scores of jets or that military force being displayed here. Nothing like what we saw when Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan last year. So you are seeing at least some compromise right now from all 3 sides, even the U.S., right? So we heard from Lai during his victory speech, still reiterating that the Taiwan is going to still seek cooperation with the U.S. I don't think we can go as far as saying that they're going to have dialogue, because the sticking point is still that 1992 consensus, which says that Taiwan is part of China. The DPP still rejects that, and that is a red line for Beijing. But we also heard from President Biden as well, shortly after this election result, saying the U.S. does not support Taiwan independence. So there's still some olive branches, as you can call it, being seen here right now, some reassuring words after this election, Sherry.